Hello, I'm Steve Horwitz. I'm a Distinguished Professor of Free Enterprise here in the Economics Department in the Miller College of Business. I'm also the Director of the Institute for the Study of Political Economy, and I'm the instructor for this section of Econ 116, Survey of Economic Ideas. What I want to do in this video is introduce you to some important parts of the course. If you haven't done so already, you should look at the syllabus. Everything I'm going to talk about is there and there in more detail. You should also look at the other materials in the introductory module on Canvas. Let me start by just saying a little bit about why we're online. Obviously, COVID is one issue, but the second issue is that a little over 3 years ago, I was diagnosed with multiple myeloma, which is a plasma cancer. It is not curable, but it is treatable, and here I am 3.5 years almost later, and I'm doing great. But that also means that sometimes my health can be uncertain, and it's not always clear if I can be on campus at a particular time. So I've been teaching online since then. I've been teaching this course now several semesters online. It also means, and I'll say some more about this later, that I probably won't have much in the way of physical office hours on campus this semester, but I will do some by Zoom. And again, I'll talk about that in a little bit. So what do you need to do, or what do you need to get for this course? Really, two things. First, you need to get a copy of the textbook, which is Hain, Betke, and Pacheco's The Economic Way of Thinking, the 13th edition, please. It has no new copies have been printed for a while, but there's tons of used ones out there at the bookstore, at Amazon, and other places. You shouldn't have a problem finding a used one at a decent price. Just make sure it's the 13th edition. I'm also okay if you find somewhere, where is up to you, a PDF version of the 13th online, but please beware of Kindle versions. Kindle versions sometimes do not have the graphs with them. They do not have all the materials that you need to really get the most out of the textbook. But again, if you can find a PDF online somewhere and it doesn't blow up your computer, that's fine with me. But you can find plenty of used copies of the book. The other thing you'll need to acquire for this course is a subscription to Packback, which is the software we use to engage in discussion forums. Packback costs, I believe, $25, and you'll need to get that subscription and participate in that. Think of that as a textbook as part of the course as well. So what else? Let me talk a bit about office hours. I will do office hours via Zoom on Monday afternoons from 1 to 3 and Thursday mornings from 10 to 12. Again, all in the syllabus, including the links for my Zoom room. I'm also available by appointment if you drop me an email and want to meet with me another time via Zoom or Google Hangouts or Skype or whatever, anything but FaceTime. I'm happy to do that as well. Just drop me a note and let me know. And I will say that one of the most important things you can do in this course is to watch your email. There are over 100 of you in this section, and I will communicate with you collectively through Canvas email. So please make sure you're watching your email in Canvas, and that is where that's the primary form of communication I will use this semester. Occasionally I do announcements in Canvas, but mostly email. A couple things about email that you should know. First of all, use your BSU email account when you contact me, not your Hotmail, your Gmail, or God forbid, your AOL. Use your BSU email, please. And secondly and thirdly, make sure it's set up so that when the email arrives, it has your name in the from line. It's also helpful to put your name in the email itself. And then also, if it would really help me if you put Econ 116 in the email subject header. That way it'll get filtered into the right folder for me. And it's also good to make your emails reasonably professional. Email communication is still the way people communicate professionally in the business world. So dear Professor Horwitz is good. Signing your name is good. Hey Prof, not so good. And so once we start emailing with each other on a regular basis, you don't need to be quite so formal, but certainly you should try to be professional as you can in your email communication. But again, please use your BSU email and watch your BSU and Canvas email. That's how you'll find out what's going on in this class. So how does the class set up? All the course materials are set up in Canvas. Everything's there except for Packback, which is a separate piece of software. Each week of the course is a separate module in Canvas, and each of those modules, each of those weeks corresponds to one of the chapters in the textbook. So there's 15 weeks, 15 modules. We're going to do 15 chapters in the textbook. Really, really easy. Each of those modules opens at 8 o'clock on Mondays, except this first week will open up on Tuesday morning, the first day of class. And you have a week to work on those. I don't allow people to work ahead, so everyone's working on the same chapter at the same time. When you open that module, you'll find a main page in there that has sort of all the links and all the information for the full week. Each week you will do some or all of the following. Every module, you should read the chapter, obviously, to get the textbook, read the chapter. You should go through the PowerPoint every week. Every chapter has a PowerPoint associated with it. If I were teaching in a real classroom, that's what I would. That's the PowerPoint that I would be using in class. So make sure you go through the PowerPoint. Then each week has at least one, sometimes two, and maybe even in a couple cases 3 short video lectures by me, kind of sitting right here doing what I'm doing right now, going over some of the material from the chapter. I've tried to pick the material that I thought would benefit the most from my explanation, as opposed to you just reading it or looking at the PowerPoint. You need to watch those every week as well. Every week also has some supplemental videos and sometimes some short supplemental readings. You should do those as well. Those are not optional. You should do those. They're helpful and they will help you learn the material. 3 weeks have extra credit sort of homework worksheet assignments with them that are listed in Canvas as assignments. They're opportunities for you to practice some stuff from the course or respond to questions. If you do those, you will get, for each of them that you complete, you'll get 1 extra credit point. There are answers to those worksheets that will appear every week, the end of the week and Sunday at 5 o'clock. All those worksheets are due Sunday, 4 o'clock, so an hour after they're due, the answers will appear on Canvas. In addition, each chapter has some optional homework questions associated with them. If you look at the bottom of that sort of main page for each module, you'll see those listed there. There's 3 of them. They're from the end of the chapter in the book. They are completely optional. Again, every Sunday at 5 o'clock, the answers to those will be available on Canvas. You can do those as practice work, and you can check yourself against the answers. I'm happy to talk about them in office hours. I also have a graduate assistant for this course, and he will have office hours both in person and Zoom, and that's another place you can go to talk about them. When I didn't have 100 people in this course, when it was only 30 or 40, I was able to have you submit those and get some extra credit for them. But with 110 or whatever of you, I just can't do that. But again, they're worth doing. Your grades and the exams will be better if you do them, and you can talk with me about them at office hours or by appointment. You can talk with the GA about them as well, or you can just do them and check yourself against the answers that appear on Sunday. Completely up to you. In addition to all that, every week you need to participate in Packback. My expectation for Packback is that you will pose 1 question there and respond to one other classmate's question every week. So 2 things you have to do every week: 1 question you have to pose, 1 response you have to make. The way I grade those is your question and response are each worth 50% of your grade. There's some sort of minimum quality requirements that Packback puts in. It sort of ranks each of your contributions. After weeks 4, week 8, week 12, and week 15, I look at the numbers that Packback assigns. I tinker with them based on my reading of what you're doing, and I give you a grade on the sort of 0 to 100 scale at each of those points. And at the end of the semester, I average those together, and you get a final Packback grade, which is worth 15% of your total grade in the course. The way I put it is, if you do 1 question and 1 response every week, and they're not sort of silly, you'll get at least a B type grade for Packback. The higher quality question and response, and the more questions and responses you do beyond the minimum, the higher your grade will be up through the B's and into the A's. So your participation in Packback, that's how that works. I think you'll like it. I think the students who've used it the last couple of semesters have been happy with it. I like it, and I try to participate there as well. I try to pose a question every once in a while and get into the discussions that take place there. So let me say a little bit more about the grading system for the course. I should add, by the way, you might notice in the background, my dog appears in some of these videos from time to time, either visually or vocally. That's his name is Panda. He's a sheepadoodle, and so he also comes to Zoom office hours from time to time as well. So just so you know, that's all part of the fun in teaching online. So how does the grading work in this course? You will have 3 in-semester exams. Those are worth 20% of your grade each, for a total of 60%. You'll have a final exam at the end of the semester that covers the last few weeks, but also some earlier material, big sort of issues from earlier in the course. So it's kind of semi-cumulative. That will count for 25% of your grade, so that's 85% total. And then the pack-back stuff is the remaining 15% of your grade. The exams in this course are taken online on Canvas using the Respondus Lockdown browser. You need to have a PC that can use that browser, that has a working webcam and microphone. Please make sure that you have that. You cannot take the exams otherwise. They can't be taken in the Ball State labs. They have to be done this way through Canvas, because we really do have some distant learners in this course from around the country and as far as China and other places around the world. So please make sure that your computer has that capability. Your grades will be posted in Canvas, and since essentially your grades for the course, your exam grades for the course, right, are the bulk of it, the sort of how, what Canvas reports as your grade is fairly accurate. I will try to translate the pack-back, make sure the pack-back grades, and they post on Canvas. But Canvas doesn't always get it exactly right. If you really want to double check to make sure how you're doing in the course, let me know. The other thing you need to know is that Canvas will just post the 0 to 100 grades. I do curve the course at the end of the semester. The average course in here over the last few years has been around a C+. And I let you know at the end of every exam, I will email you all and say, okay, here was the average score in this exam. If your score was in the 60s or 70s or 80s, whatever, that corresponds roughly to this particular letter grade. So I try to keep you posted on sort of where you stand. But if you really need to know more precisely how you're doing, don't hesitate to send me an email and say, hey, can you tell me how I'm doing? And I will get back to you as soon as I can with that information. And again, you can come to office hours and talk to Zoom office hours, talk about it too. As I also said earlier, I do have a GA for this course. He will have some office hours. I will post those on Canvas as soon as they're finalized and put them in the syllabus. But you can visit him either in person or on Zoom. His name is Ethan Summers, to get more help for the course. Again, with over 100 of you, that might be a viable option. And if it turns out I need more Zoom office hours to accommodate you, I'll make those times and make it happen. Last thing, if you're struggling, right, it's a tough time between online learning, between COVID, between economic stuff that people are facing, between dogs barking in the background. If you're struggling in this course because of stuff outside of your control like that, let me know. I don't need to know the details of what the problem is or what's going on, but it will help me to know that you're having problems and not being able to get the work done for the course. If I know that, we can find a way to deal with your problem and to sort of work around it and to help you succeed in the course. I don't want you to fail the course because you never told me that you were falling behind and that there was something blocking your ability to work. So let me know. Again, I don't need to know the details. I just need to know that you've got a serious thing going on. And if it's serious, we'll find a way to work around it. So please don't let yourself have a really disastrous experience in this course because of things like that that you can't control. So please come see me. I think that's about all I want to say here. Again, big highlights. Everything's in Canvas. Read your Canvas email. Watch for emails from me. Don't let them slip by. All the important information about the courses, the exams, and so on are there. Read the syllabus if you haven't done so already. It's got all the dates for everything in it. Everything is set up and ready to go. My experience with this course the last several semesters, again, has been really good. So I hope that it will be good for you as well. And again, if you have any questions at all, please send me an email. Let me know. I'm really good about trying to respond to emails as quickly as I can, especially from students. So just let me know, and I'll get you an answer if I can do it. Again, I hope you have a great semester. Good luck, and please, use email and use Zoom to introduce yourself to me. There's a lot of you in this course, and I don't get to see you in person, but I think it makes me a better teacher. It makes you a better student if you take some time to sort of do what you can in an online course to get to know the faculty member. And I will do whatever I can to help you succeed. So thanks, and enjoy the semester.